Welcome. We're on day 28 of reading the Bible with Lily. We are going to be going over Exodus chapter 33, 34, and 35. So let's go ahead and begin. Exodus chapter 33. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Depart and go up from here, you and your people, whom you have brought out of the land of Egypt, to the land which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. To your descendants I will give you. And I will send my angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanite and the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite. Go up to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I will go up into your midst, lest I consume you on the way. For you are a stiff-necked people." My goodness, he said that many times. And when the people heard this bad news, they mourned, and no one put on his ornaments. For the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. I could come into the midst in one moment and consume you. Now therefore take off your ornaments, that I may know what to do to you." So the children of Israel stripped them from themselves of their ornaments by Mount Horeb. Verse 7. Moses meets with the Lord. Moses took his tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it a tabernacle of meeting. And it came to pass that everyone who sought the Lord went out to the tabernacle of meeting, which was outside of the camp. So it was, whenever Moses went out to the tabernacle, that all the people rose, and each man stood at the tent door and watched Moses until he had gone into the tabernacle. And it came to pass, when Moses entered the tabernacle, that the pillar of the cloud descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle, and Lord talked with Moses. All the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the tabernacle door, and all the people rose and worshipped, each man in his tent door. So the Lord spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend, and he would return to the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, did not depart from the tabernacle. Verse 12, the promise of God's presence. Then Moses said to the Lord, See, you say to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know who you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found grace in my spirit. Now therefore I pray, if I have found grace in your sight, show me now your way, that I may know that you and that I may find grace in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. And he said, My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. And then he said to him, If your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here. For how then will it be known that your people and I have found grace in your sight, except if you go with us? So we shall be separate, your people and I, from all the people who are upon the face of the earth. So the Lord said to Moses, I will also do this thing that you have spoken, for you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name. And he said, Please show me your glory. Then he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. But he said, You cannot see my face, for no man shall see me and live. And the Lord said, Here is a place by me, and you shall stand on the rock. So it shall be, while my glory passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock, and you will cover me with my hand while I pass by. Then I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen. Exodus chapter 34, Moses makes new tablets. And the Lord said to Moses, Cut 2 tablets of stone like the first ones, and I will write on these tablets the words which were on the first tablets which you broke. So be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourself to me there on top of the mountain. And no man shall come up with you, and let no man be seen throughout all the mountain. Let neither flocks or herds feed before that mountain. So he cut 2 tablets of stones like the first ones. Then Moses rose early in the morning and went to Mount Sinai, as the Lord had commanded him, and took in his hands the 2 tablets of stone. Now the Lord descended in the cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of the Lord. And the Lord passed by him and proclaimed, the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abounding in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin, by no means clearly the guilty, visited the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and the children's children to the third and fourth generation. So Moses made haste and bowed his head towards the earth and worshipped. Then he said, If now I have found grace in your sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray, go among us, even though we are a stiff-necked people, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. Verse 10. The covenant renewed. And he said, Behold, I make a covenant before you. Before all your people, I will do marvels, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among whom you are shall see the work of the Lord, for it is an awesome thing that I will do with you. Observe that I command you this day. Behold, I am driving out here before you the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Take heed for yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, lest it be a snare in your midst. But you shall destroy their altars, break their sacred pillars, and cut down their wooden images. For you shall worship no other God, for the God whose name is a jealous God. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they play the harlot with their gods and make sacrifice to their gods. And one of them invites you, and you eat of his sacrifice, and you take of his daughters for your sons, and his daughters to play the harlot with their gods, and make your sons play the harlot with their gods. You shall make no molded gods for yourselves. The feast of the unleavened bread you shall keep. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you, in the appointed time of the month of Abib. For in the month of the Abib you came out of Egypt. All that open the womb are mine, and every male firstborn among your livestock, whether ox or sheep. But the firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem with a lamb. And if you will not redeem him, then you shall break his neck. All the firstborn of your sons shall be redeemed, and none shall appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you shall work, but on the 7th day you shall rest, in plowing time and in harvest, and shall rest. And you shall observe the feast of weeks, of the firstfruits and wheat harvest, and the feast of the ingathering of the year's end. 3 times in the year all your men shall appear before the Lord, and the Lord of God of Israel. For I will cast out the nations before you and enlarge your borders. Neither will any man covet your land when you go up and appear before the Lord your God 3 times in the year. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, nor shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left until morning. The first of the firstfruits of your land you shall bring to the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat and in its mother's milk. For the Lord said to Moses, Write these words, for according to the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with you and Israel. So he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He neither ate bread nor drank water. And he wrote the tablets, the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. Verse 29, the shining face of Moses. Now it was so, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, and the 2 tablets of the testimony were in Moses' hand when he came down from the mountain, that Moses did not know that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. So when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. Then Moses called to them, and Aaron and the rulers of the congregation returned to him, and Moses talked with them. Afterward, all the children of Israel came near, and he gave them as commandments all that the Lord had spoken with him on Mount Sinai. And then Moses had finished speaking with them, and he put a veil on his face. But whenever Moses went in before the Lord to speak with him, he would take the Lord to speak with him, and he would take the veil off until he came out. And he would come out and speak to the children of Israel whatever he had been commanded. And whenever the children of Israel saw the face of Moses and the skin of Moses' face shone, then Moses would put the veil on his face again until he went to speak with him. Wow, that was good. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights too, just like someone else we know. All right. Tune in for the next day, day 29, Exodus 36, 37, and 38.